Good morning, everyone. Our today's topic in strategic human resource management is employees compensation. So, what is employees compensation? It is basically uh, the consideration which he receives in return of the duty and job he is performing in the organization. So it is basically a remuneration of remuneration that an employee receives in return of his or her contribution towards the organization. So the basic objective of the compensation is to uh, boost morale of the employees. So it will certainly helps in boosting morale of the employee. It helps in enhancing the efficiency of the worker. It helps in reducing staff turnover, and it increase employee retention rate as well. If the compensation are fair and just, so it will definitely attract best employees towards your organization. And uh, certain times what happen is there is always a conflict between unions and the management. So if the compensation policy in your organization is fair and equitable, so it will also help in dealing with the problems with the union also. So these are the objectives of compensation. Now we need to talk about what compensation is consist of. So there are various components of compensation. Certain components are financial components, certain components are non-financial component. So the financial components are generally known as direct compensation. So it could be in terms of money, whereas there are certain indirect compensation which is non-financial compensation. So we will discuss the direct and indirect compensation in the component of compensation. So if we talk about direct compensation, there, as you see in the diagram itself, uh, all the heads are included here is in terms of money or in financial benefit terms. So direct compensation include the basic salary, which could be wages or salary. So wages is paid on hourly basis or daily basis, whereas salary is for periodic compensation. Then incentives are there. So incentives are known as performance related pay. So apart from salary, there are certain incentives which are to be given. Although in salary component there are basic salary, and apart from this there are certain allowances also, just like HRA allowance, that is house rent allowance, DA dearness allowance. There are certain times there are traveling allowances also. So there are various component of the salaries. But incentives are the performance related pay. That means if you have performed uh, according to whatever targets you are given, so incentives are there for you. So intensive incentives may include commissions on sale. It is incentive is on the basis of piece rate system. That means if the target is given to produce certain amount of output within certain given period of time and you have performed it, so piece rate basis incentives are also given. Bonus is a kind of profit sharing to the employees. Stock options are there. So stock options are the options of distribution of shares to the employees. So it's a kind of offering of ownership in the company to the employees. So stock options are given, profit sharings are given. So yearly profits are calculated in the organization, and if there is a profit, so it is shared to with the employees also. And gain sharing, so whatever gain, financial gains are there in the organization, so it is also be shared with the employees of the organization. So these are the compensation which is directly enhance your salary, or it is directly a financial compensation. Whereas there are certain non-financial compensations which are also known as indirect compensation. So there are four heads in indirect compensation. First is pay for time not work. So if there is a vacation, so you are also paid for the vacation, that is a indirect compensation. Pay for breaks, pay for holidays. If there are organizations in which the casual and the sick leaves are there, so such days are also paid by the organization. Jury duty, that means if you are given with some extra duty from the organization, and if you are out, for example, if you are out of a station for certain organizational duty, so it is considered as on duty. So such duties are being paid by the organization. Then second kind of indirect compensation is insurance plan. So any medical insurance, dental insurance, or life insurance provided to the employees and their families, so this is a kind of indirect compensation. So it then indirect compensation includes security plans. So in security plans, like it is security in future. So pension plans, if pension plans are there for the employees in the organization, it comes in indirect compensation. Social security cards can be issued, which one can take health benefit from, or in certain hospitals there are discount for the employees. This is also a kind of social security. Next is disability insurance. If an employee get injured during working in the organization, so certain kind of insurance is provided to the employee, so that is indirect compensation. Next, fourth component of indirect compensation is employee service. Like it is basically the welfare service provided by the organization to the employees, which includes educational assistant. If employee, if there are certain organization which sponsors the employees education, there are certain organization which provides the recreational programs for the employees and their families as well. There are food services, free or subsidized food are given in the canteen of the organization. So such kind of non financial compensation or indirect compensation, you cannot encash these facilities. So there are various components of compensation, uh, which may include in direct compensation or indirect compensation. Either it may include in, you can say it is a financial and non-financial component of compensation. So in this lecture we have studied about the criteria of compensation and components of compensation. So that is it for the day. Thank you so much.